Cretin-Derham Hall in St. Paul is a place where Keystone Productions proudly presents high school girls basketball. Tonight's game features the second matchup in a series between two competitive teams in the Suburban East Conference, the Hastings Raiders and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. All the action is coming up momentarily. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, and would like to welcome my new partner, center for the St. Paul Highland Park Scots, Maija Robertson. Maija, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mike. I'm very glad to be here.
Maija, if you take a look at the Suburban East Conference standings, you would think Cretin holds an advantage at 9-4 over Hastings at 4-9, but in this conference, you can throw the record books out.
You're right, Mike. And between these two teams, the last game was only lost by 6 points. Both of these teams are going to be worried.
Now, this game will rely heavily on two key players, and for Hastings, their marquee player is 6'8", yes, you heard me, 6'8", senior forward, Catherine Hines.
Catherine Hines is a force to be reckoned with, and not only is she leading the team in scoring and rebounds with 12.2 points a game, but physically she's someone that the team is going to need to look at, and they're just going to feel threatened by her size.
For Cretin-Derham Hall, their playmaker is none other than point guard and future Wisconsin Badger Alyssa Karel. However, if she has trouble, Cretin has some additional ammunition they can fire at their opponents.
Yes, Hastings is versatile. Karel leads the state in assists and steals, and she leads her conference in scoring with 20.1 points per game. With a season like that, she has 3 triple-doubles, but it's not just her. Molly Gesk leads conferences in 3 points, and they also have Sarah Hendricks.
All right, let's take a look at the keys to the game for tonight, and we'll start with Hastings. First, they need to look to get the ball inside. With Catherine Hines at 6'8", as you mentioned, she is a force to be reckoned with. If they can set her up to score on the inside, it will open up the court for the perimeter shooters. Second, they need to get easy looks at the half court. Cretin does not play the half court well. They prefer to attack you with transitional defense. And finally, they need to pass the ball well. I talked to Coach Mike Harp yesterday, and he told me that when Hastings does a good job of passing the ball, they win games. If they don't, they struggle. Maija, what do you have for Cretin-Derham Hall?
Well, with Cretin-Derham Hall's speed, you can't let them get ahead of themselves. They need to control the tempo in this game. Also, they're going to need to stop both Catherine Hines and Sarah DUEA. With two versatile players, both on the inside and the outside, they're going to have to find their players on defense, match up quickly, or in a zone, they're going to need to hit the floor, get back on transitions. Now, they're also going to need to have a 3-point play. They're going to need to be a threat in this game.
Which set of Raiders will strike gold in the form of a victory tonight? You'll know the answer in 36 minutes. Hello again. Welcome to Cretin-Derham Hall, and let me tell you, I am glad the cold snap is finally moving out of here. Arctic blast. And let's take a look at the starting lineups. We will begin with the Hastings Raiders. For Hastings, the starters will be Angela Jackson, Megan Callahan, Abby Wagner, Sarah DUEA, and Catherine Hines. For Cretin-Derham Hall, the starting 5 will be Sarah Hendricks, Carolyn Dienhart, Alyssa Karel, Molly Jeske, and Sheila Otto.
Both team mics look ready to go. I saw Hastings with a lot of outside shooting already. They know that they're going to have to shoot over Cretin. Just looking at them lining up for the Star-Spangled Banner, we had Hines towering over her team. Not only are they small compared to her, but they were small compared to Cretin. They're all about the same size, upwards of 5 feet, 6, lower 6 feet.
Now, Maija, I have to ask you, you played hundreds and hundreds of games over for Harding and Highland Park, down on this court and many other courts. How does it feel to be up here?
Well, we're standing up here. We have a good view. It's always exciting the start of a game. You have two teams. They know what needs to get done. They're concentrating, and you know they're excited. I'm really excited to be here.
And we hope you are too. Hastings again coming into this game at 4-9 in the conference, 10-12 overall. Cretin-Derham Hall 16-7 overall, 9-4 in the conference.
Both teams look ready to go. You see smiles on the court out there.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Because we are. Tip-off is made. Hastings with the first possession. This is Angela Jackson with the ball. Wagner, quick pass, stolen by Molly Jeske. Karel is open on the fast break. Here she comes. Misses the layup, too strong. Who's going to come up with the rebound? It's Karel.
Now Cretin already in control of the game with a quick fast break. They started out in man. Here we see Hastings in a 2-3.
There's Molly Jeske. She can shoot well from behind the arc. Goes to Dienhart. Hands it out to Otto. Molly Jeske thought about the three. Pump fakes, gets the two-pointer. Can't get the bounce. Catherine Hines with the rebound.
No one even was touching Catherine Hines. They can't expect to get rebounds if you don't put a man on the biggest person on the floor.
Hastings wearing white, Cretin-Derham Hall in purple. This is Dewey. She's going to take a shot. Too strong. Rebound, Alyssa Karel. She goes to Carolyn Dienhart. She's going to take a three. Well off the mark, too strong. Sheila Otto came up with it. Ball is poked away. Cretin will take possession. 16:49 to go. Still no score. Dienhart with another jumper. Swish.
Now you see she had both her feet planted and she was executing. The other play she wasn't set up. She was rushing because both of the guards came out on their 2-3 and we're seeing her. You're going to have to make a clutch play.
And look at this, Karel with the steal, Molly Jeske with the easy two. Karel leads the state in steals. You want to watch her at all times.
Cretin playing a modified man defense for their press.
Wagner's shot, no good. Carolyn Dienhart with the rebound. Cretin setting themselves up. Jeske's shot is blocked by Hines. Karel with the three. Bullseye!
With a block like that, Hastings can really get some momentum with that. They can't let Cretin now get some rebounds off of that. It's going to kill that momentum.
They're up 7-zip. Hines looking to get inside. She gets the first basket for Hastings.
Good look. You know, with that kind of power, she's going to be able to go behind over the back.
Karel pass a little too high. Hastings will take possession. The one thing Cretin showed on their last offensive series was perseverance. Hines came in with the block, but Karel was kept a straight face and sunk the three.
Well, really, they know someone that tall, your shot is going to get blocked. That's basketball. But if you come up with an attitude, it's not going to work.
And speaking of blocks, Sarah Hendricks, who leads the Suburban East Conference in blocks, took away an opportunity from Angela Jackson. Hastings will keep the ball.
Nice switch there with the man D doubling up on Hines.
Callahan, she'll take a shot, too strong. Gets her own rebound, no good. Sarah Hendricks comes up with it. Here comes Karel. She'll take the shot herself. Short, rebound, Catherine Hines. 6'8", she's not going to have a problem getting rebounds off the glass. And our first foul of the game. Non-shooting foul. The foul goes to Alyssa Karel. Her first personal. She averages about 3 fouls a game. In a match earlier this season against Central, she fouled out with just over a minute remaining, and it hurt Cretin-Derham Hall.
Well, you know, my coaches used to say when I didn't have any fouls that you're not playing basketball. If you don't hit someone, you're not going hard. You're not playing aggressive enough. With a team like this, you have one big man, one body. You need to scare the team. That you can't let them come in at you. I can understand. The last loss, 6 points. You know they're coming in hard.
3-pointer by Dewey, no good. Sheila Otto, her pass was nearly deflected. Karel gets it out. Carolyn Dienhart for 3. Bullseye. Timeout, Hastings.
You know Hastings is hurting on that one. They thought, 7 up, Cretin, what are you going to do? Just returning with 2 points. They're down by 8. They have to take an early timeout. Good call.
And speaking of Hastings, they have a pretty rich athletic history. I'm sure a lot of you have watched Super Bowl 41. One of the Hastings alum, Ben Utek, picked up his first Super Bowl ring with the Indianapolis Colts. And another notable alumni, Jeff Tafe, who is playing in the NHL with the Phoenix Coyotes, and this Hastings girls basketball club were state champions in 1996. By the way, Carolyn Dienhart with 5 points so far with that last 3.
You see Cretin coming out very strong on their outside shooting. Hastings is a shooting team. They're small. They're going to need to start hitting some of those threes. I'm surprised that even their little guards are getting weak side rebounds, but they're going to have to do more of that.
Let's see what the Hastings can do. Stolen by Hendricks. Here comes Karel, and she gets the bounce.
She's staying strong. She knows she's little, getting it in there.
Karel going to Wisconsin. That's 5 points for Cretin, applying full court pressure, and it works to perfection. There's a jump ball, and Cretin will take possession.
Karel's being a leader on offense and defense. She started several of their steals in the backcourt, and she's also acting as a point guard. However, she has been lagging on some of their fast breaks and getting balls after a shot attempt and a rebound by her team.
Jeske with a 3-point attempt that fell short. Rebound was for Sarah Osberg. But you're right about Karel with steals, and Osberg gets the first basket. She leads the state in that category as well.
Now you're seeing both teams in a modified 2-3, modified meaning that they're probably going to come down to the corner and trap. Their coaches might have mentioned to have possibly Karel matching up with one of their point guards to have some more control over who's controlling their offense.
Cretin's last pass missed her target. Hastings has possession. Substitution for Cretin-Derham Hall. Sarah Hendricks comes out. In comes Rosie Malone-Pavoni. She has a lot of speed, which can be useful on fast breaks. And Pavoni applying defense. And foul was Sarah Dewey draws the foul. She will go to the free throw line for the first time. The foul is on Sheila Otto, her first personal. Sarah Dewey, a 5'10" senior guard. She has plans to go to St. Benedict after she graduates. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 12-6, Cretin-Derham Hall leads. There's Karel playing quarterback. Ball is stolen by Abby Wagner. And Karel pokes it away from Leslie Story. Here she comes. Too easy of a layup. You can't let her do that.
Cretin now has Hastings scared. They don't feel like they're safe in their own backcourt. And now, with their point guard in trouble, with Karel guarding her, it's gonna be tough.
Meanwhile, Cretin picks up their third foul. It goes to Rosie Malone-Pavoni, her first, but you're right. Alyssa Karel showing why she is such an extremely versatile point guard. Here comes Osberg, shot too strong. Jeske tried with the save it, but Hastings will keep possession. Alyssa Karel, by the way, has 7 points. Substitution coming in as Sheila Otto comes out. And Kendra Harris comes in. Looking on the court, Maija, Amy Bellis might decide to put Hendricks in, knowing that Catherine Heinz is currently not on the floor right now, and try to give Cretin some presence inside.
It's hard on the 2-3, but if they're playing modified, having someone that's going to pull that second guard down onto her will be valuable so that they can get outside shots.
If you just joined us, Cretin-Derham Hall dominating early, 12:01 to go in the first half, 14-6.
Karel here acting as a strong presence, not only acting as a point guard, but leading in points with 7, half of their points, and several steals.
Kendra Harris takes a shot from the paint. No good.
She faded away on that. She wasn't prepared.
Rebound by DUEA. He's going to hand it out to Storley. And a traveling violation on Amelia SCHMITZ.
She was looking pleadingly to the ref to get her a foul, but Cretin was planted.
Substitution coming in for Cretin. Hannah Gickling stepping in, replacing Carolyn Dienhart. And she is serenaded with some applause from the Cretin-Derham Hall fans.
Heinz also back in, playing the middle of their 2-3.
I think looking to cancel out the Harris effect. Gickling with the first shot of the game, off the rim.
Harris
Jackson.
Harris nowhere near that rebound.
And Jackson takes it herself and one. She'll go to the free throw line for a 3-point play opportunity. The foul was on Kendra Harris, her first. Speaking of fouls, Hastings has yet to commit one. Cretin-Derham Hall only with 2 more to give. Free throw too strong, but the rebound by Osberg, and she ends up losing it to Gickling. Couldn't capitalize there. Here comes Karel. She weaves her way through a double team and gets the layup!
Now that one just hurts. It's a 1-on-2, not a 2-on-1. You can't let her capitalize against 2 of your players. Cretin with early momentum. Karel going for the steal, missing.
Heinz responds from the paint.
Harris not a presence.
Meanwhile, Pavoni's shot is blocked. I believe that was Heinz. Here comes Hastings. This is Jackson. She goes out to Osberg. No good. Rebound Harris. We were talking about Harris not being a presence. Heinz has a full 7 inches on her. Karel for 3. Bullseye.
Harris knows she has 7 inches on her. She needs to know that she needs to get down, hit her low.
Osberg with the ball, goes to Heinz. The ball is stolen by Karel. Molly Jeske by herself. Easy layup. Cretin is making Hastings look like fools out there.
Hastings having to take another timeout. Another 30-second timeout. He's trying to regain composure, have some momentum here. Now, in the timeout, Karel's coming in with 12 points and another steal off of Heinz. It's obvious Cretin's coach has made several comments to his team, her team. Thank you. Amy Bellis has obviously instructed her team to double team on Heinz with Harris in front. Karel got that steal by coming from behind, but she knows she's not going to be able to one-on-one her, so she had to go for the steal. That time it was lucky. But if she keeps coming across her body, the refs might start calling that as a foul.
I bet you Wisconsin is glowing with glee. Alyssa Karel will be heading there next year.
Back in, Cretin still in full court man. No help side by Harris.
Angela Jackson. We have a foul. It is a defensive foul.
Number 10, number 34.
Hannah Gickling called for a first personal. Cretin with only one more to give. Hastings still yet to commit a foul. And Megan Callahan draws another one. She'll go to the free throw line, and now Cretin has no more fouls to give, so Hastings might be able to climb their way back here on the charity stripe.
Second one by Hannah Gickling, number 34, 2 in a row.
Gickling sinks her first, or Callahan sinks her first, 5'9" senior guard.
Interesting, Harris not lined up against Hines.
Hastings sinks both. It's 21-12. Oh, we have Dewey tripped. Hendricks can't capitalize. Goes out to Molly Noel, and Cretin will reset.
Hendricks would have capitalized on that. I think the fans would have helped it out with that momentum. Feeling like that by a guard, you just cross someone. They come one-on-one, you cross them, you hit your man. That's just one of the best feelings as a point guard.
Sarah Hendricks with the last basket. And Kendra Harris draws another foul. It's a 1-on-1 bonus for Hastings. They'll go to the free throw line from here on out. With 9:05 to go, this is where Hastings can make a move.
Now Sarah Dewey, strong guard. Knows she needs to sink these. I'm sure she's a clutch player. 1 for 1.
Kendra Harris stepping out. Sheila Otto coming in. I think Amy Bell is recognizing Harris struggling out there.
She's not feeling confident. You can see it in how she's carrying herself.
Meanwhile, Hastings sinks both. Dewey 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Another substitution. Here comes Gickling will inbound. And nice poke by Megan Callahan. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds before she can do anything with it, but a great way to shake up Cretin.
Taste of their own medicine. Hastings is going to need to control this full court.
One thing Cretin has done so far is control the tempo. We talked about that in the keys to the game.
Interesting that they're lining up in a full court man because they've been fairly successful with their 2-3.
Hendricks' shot was well over the mark, and we have a loose ball foul. They will not go to the, they're going to the line. Hastings is in the bonus. The foul is on Molly Noel, her first. Looking at the foul tally, Cretin's 8-2, Hastings 0. You can definitely tell which is the more aggressive team.
Well, Cretin's bigger. Hastings is small. A lot of guards, a lot of shooters. They're not coming in like Cretin is coming. They're coming hard with a lot of pressure. But on the flip side, the refs are seeing the disparity and calling a lot of fouls on Cretin. I'm sure they must be upset. They feel like they're just being aggressive.
Dewey sinks both. She is 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. And Hastings slowly coming back. They're down by 7. Gickling hands it out to Hendricks. And 1. And Hastings finally draws their first foul of the game. It goes to Sarah Dewey. And likewise, this is Cretin's first trip to the free throw line. Hendricks with the bounce, 3-point play successful. Cretin up back up by double digits.
Trap at the half court.
Callahan got out of it, goes to Hines, who is open inside. 6 points for Hines. And the ball is stolen by Abby Wagner. And she loses it to Alyssa Karel. Couldn't quite handle the pass. We have a mad scramble for the ball. Jump ball. Hastings will take possession.
Maija, the last time out, I thought Coach Harp made a great suggestion Not only was he concerned about passing over the Cretin Raider double teams, but he also suggested that it was time for the Hastings team to put a little pressure right on the Raiders as well and give them a little taste of their own defense. So I think it's working, and obviously Coach Bellis wants the Raiders to continue to press, try and get the fast break baskets and get down there and take a shot before Hastings has a chance to set up in that rather imposing zone. Back to you.
Come out of the timeout. And for Hastings, both Sarah Dewey and Catherine Heinz lead the way with 6. This is Angela Jackson, goes out to Callahan. Goes to Dewey, looking to get inside. Nothing doing.
Ball up.
We'll get a chance to reset.
Cretin's Molly Noel really needs to go after that ball.
Shot was blocked. I believe that was Hendricks. Carroll comes up with it, and she can't get a handle on it. Cretin not able to capitalize on that steal.
That's frustrating. You have Sarah Hendricks with this amazing block. That's a momentum builder. Cretin has to capitalize on these momentum builders.
Carroll, by the way, leading the scoring for Cretin with 12. And a foul.
Carolyn Deinhardt.
Yes, and that will put Hastings back to the free throw line.
Basketball is a game of runs. Cretin came out early. Hastings now with a slow but consistent run here. They started out with their full court man defense. It's really kind of helped them out. Surprisingly, most of their possessions, however, have not been off of steals, but off of defensive rebounds.
Referees holding a quick conference. Angela Jackson will be taking the free throw shots for Hastings. 7:39 to go. Hastings could claw their way into this game from the line. They've had far more attempts than Cretin. But that's not going to get it done.
Sarah Hendricks not playing it, didn't get the over the back call.
And Carroll overthrows her target. I think Cretin showing a little frustration. Substitution coming in. Catherine Heinz is stepping out.
Sarah Osberg coming in.
Hastings going back to the small lineup.
No trap on that run. That's where they found their most success. Cretin backing away from that success. Not sure why. Trap in the corner.
Angela Jackson with the ball. Hastings taking their time with this one. And the pass goes under the legs of Abby Wagner. Cretin will get possession. 7:02 remaining, 26-18 in favor of the Raiders of Cretin.
Next foul, Cretin will be in the double bonus. They'll give the double bonus, excuse me.
And that means Hastings will be able to shoot from the free throw line without losing possession on a 1-and-1. It'll be an automatic 2 free throws. Meanwhile, the last few minutes have been turnovers galore on both ends of the court. Otto tried to get the steal, couldn't get a handle. Hastings will keep possession.
Carroll looking at the trap, deciding against it. Now Cretin in help side because they are coming up to the trap.
Hendricks with the block. Or deflection pass. And Jeske finally comes up with it after a bit of a scramble. Deinhardt with the long jumper. Off the rim.
Too much.
Rebound Dewey. And she'll take a 3. Too strong. Sarah Osberg nearly got the rebound. Carroll comes up with it. Spin moves to Jeske. And another 2 points from the paint.
Karel really knows how to play up to her crowd. Behind the back passes, making hilarious facial expressions. She's just really hitting the floor. Crowd loves that.
Leslie Storley coming back in for Hastings. Kendra Harris is back in for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Wagner with a long two, gets the roll. Hastings needs that about now. Here comes Dienhart. And one.
Count it. I'd just like to make a comment about Molly Jeske leading in three-point attempts. She's really running the floor well tonight. You see her back in the paint on defense before she finds her man. You also see her on every offensive play. Cretin really likes to push the ball, run the ball. She's there every play, giving an outlet to Karel or Otto.
Dienhart with the free throw, three-point play successful. You were talking about Molly Jeske. She scored 22 points in the first meeting with these two teams. And 12 of those came from 4 three-point baskets.
Now here's Harris back in.
Meanwhile, Amelia Schmitz gets a basket for Hastings.
Harris having a much easier time against Sarah Osberg here.
And we've got a foul. It's a Hastings foul. Leslie Storley, or no, Sarah Osberg. Her first personal.
Harris needs to come in with more presence. She's the big man on the floor now. She needs to make that known.
With Heinz not on the court, this is her chance.
No one near Harris, but she doesn't capitalize. A lot of body down there. She's not going to get the call.
A couple more Wheaties and that would have gone in. Leah Schmitz with the ball. And she can't get a handle.
Interesting call there. The foul hit off her foot, but the baseline ref did call it as well.
That is Cretin's 10th. Hastings now in the double bonus. They will automatically shoot 2 free throws for the remainder of this half.
You see Karel calling for her team, stop fouling. Good advice.
And that's exactly what Cretin needs to do because Hastings can claw their way back here on free throws. They still have 3 to give.
Abby Wagner out. Heinz coming in.
Schmitz, 2 of 2. Hastings cuts the lead to 7. Karel playing quarterback, setting up her offense. Jeske for 3. Bullseye. You can't leave her open from behind the arc.
Quick shot. She's already set up. She knows Karel's going to put the ball right in her hands. Trap at the top court.
Storley gets out of it.
Molly Noel's hair flapping all over the place. Heinz, Howard with Harris behind her. She's not playing above.
8 points for Heinz, and she knows she has a 7-inch advantage over Harris and used every last bit of it to get her basket. Meanwhile, Dienhart with another bullseye.
This defensive play, I would say Harris needs to front and trust your guards to have her behind.
11 points for Dienhart.
Karel going for the steal.
Heinz just shot a short rebound. Harris, and she nearly lost it, but it went off the Hastings player.
Sarah Osberg. I'm surprised Osberg didn't get called a foul there. She was reaching across her body with her other hand on Harris's arm. That's how you're going to get a foul call.
Jeske saying, "I'm not finished." Not quite. And a scramble for the ball. Karel picks it up, hands it out to Dienhart. Goes back to Karel, and Cretin will reset. Dienhart with a 3. No good. Catherine Heinz with the rebound.
Harris on that possession, not even flashing across, sitting at the weak elbow.
Shot is blocked. Cretin has been in control from this game since the tip-off. Karel going to take a shot, no good. Pavoni comes up with it. Hands it out to Jeski. Dean Hart thought about a three. Will go out to Jeski. She can't get a handle on it, loses the ball.
Dean Hart deciding that Hines would dominate Harris, although she had perfect position for a perfect pass down there, but just not a lot of faith in that in Harris as a post.
6'1" to 6'8" matchup. Meanwhile, Hines' shot is too strong. Hastings will keep possession.
Harris just in Hines' face. That's what she's going to have to do.
Callahan will inbound it. Goes to Sarah Dewey. Dewey will take a long shot. I think that was deflected. Jeski will come out and get things set up for Cretin. Giggling back in the game. So is Malone Pavoni. 2:26 to go in the first. Karel with another three. Bullseye!
Cretin taking their time, even though they're not running the floor. They're really giving themselves time to set up. With a fast-paced team like that, they're going to take quick shots.
Nobody coming out to Karel on that one. Sarah Dewey tries to respond, no good. Callahan's shot is blocked, and a foul on Karel. She can't believe it. She thought that was clean. It wasn't Karel. It wasn't Karel, it was Giggling. Giggling with her third personal. She's in foul trouble. And Callahan will get 2 free shots.
Misses the first.
Now you played center for Highland Park. What does Coach Deb Williams have you do against opponents who match up against you?
Number 1, have faith in ourselves. Number 2, teamwork.
And the one advantage you have with Highland Park is that you've got 2 6-footers on that squad.
Listed as 6'2".
I think they gave you a couple inches on that one.
Maybe it's making up for our ego.
I'm about 6 feet and you're not much taller than I am. Meanwhile, Sarah Dewey pump fakes. Shot was blocked, but Hastings draws another foul. They'll go back to the free throw line.
On Maija Jeski. It is what happened is she came down, wasn't really in control of herself, hit her low. Although Harris was in front, I don't know if that was a lack of faith in her team or just that she already had the momentum going.
Jeski's first personal. Hastings sinking the free throws, but Cretin keeping the distance with their 3-point shots.
Karel making a decision to keep it slow. Works last time.
90 seconds left in the first half. Molly Noel with her first shot of the game.
She wasn't set up.
Rebound Callahan.
Hines struggling down the court. Again, Jeski the first one down.
Dewey hands it off to Wagner. Shot is blocked by Karel. Jeski has it. Karel, she's going to get 2 points out of this one. Less than a minute to go.
That's what I had commented on before. Jeski, quick assist. She makes a steal, an assist. Then she's down there right with Karel. You just see her really, her athleticism running up and down the floor.
Less than a minute to go. Abby Wagner with the layup for Hastings. Karel, by the way, has 17 of Cretin's 42 points.
Jeski.
Meanwhile, Jeski catches him falling asleep on the other end.
I'm loving Maija Jeski. She's the all-around player.
A great compliment to Karel. Hines in trouble. Now Hastings taking their time, looking to get set up. Sarah Dewey with a 3, too strong. Karel with the rebound. And she's got a 2-on-2 situation. Did a no-look pass out to Noel, but it didn't work. But Cretin will get one more shot before the half ends. Karel, good if it goes, not quite. That is the end of the first half. Cretin-Derham Hall dominating throughout as they lead by 14, 44-30.
Going back to the keys of the game at the beginning, we said that Cretin-Derham Hall needs to stop Sarah Dewey and Catherine Hines. I haven't seen Dewey as a threat in this game, although Hines, every time she gets the ball, it seems like she's just scoring on Cretin. If they don't come up with a response for her, they're going to really have some trouble, although they have been controlling the ball full court, so not a lot of attempts for Hines.
Well, we're going to go to Meg Stevenson, our sideline reporter. She had a chance to talk to both coaches, Amy Bellis for Cretin-Derham Hall and Mike Hart for Hastings before the game. And we will see you on the flip side.
I'm standing beside Coach Amy Bellis, head coach for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. And Coach, we've got a 16-7 record coming into this game, but I think it's a little deceptive because if you look at those 7 losses, they were by an average of about 6 points. And Tuesday night, we came off a real heartbreaker.
Yeah.
How do you think the teams practiced and responded from that loss, and what do you expect from them tonight?
Well, we've had gotten beat 3 times this season on buzzer beaters, which has to be a record. But the kids have been really resilient this season. I've been impressed every day they've come and they've practiced hard, and this week was no exception. It doesn't matter if we come off a great win like Hopkins or a bad loss like against Roseville. They really, this is a team I've had that practices hard every single day. I'm just thrilled with their work ethic. I think we're going to be ready to go tonight.
Okay, as you look at the conference standings, and you've got 3 games left, and then you head into the regionals. So, based on your experience from this season, do you think your squad's going to be ready to go to finish on a high note and hit the regions playing your best basketball?
Yeah, I sure hope so. It's hard to say with this group. We've been a little bit up and down all season, but we've got great senior leadership. We've got 8 seniors on our squad, I think, and they provide terrific leadership. I think we're going to be ready to go. It's been a tough conference season for us, but there's been a lot of good teams, and we're going into a section where there's all sorts of good teams that we're going to have to beat along the way. So hopefully it will be to our advantage to have played such a difficult schedule.
Now, based on the game earlier in the season against Hastings, it was a 6-point win. What do you see as a key for your game tonight for your team to win this game?
Well, I think we have to get the pace where we want it. We like to press and run, and certainly slow it down, set it up is not what we want to do, and that's what we were forced to do a little bit down at Hastings. We did not play very well against their zone defense last time. We have to do a little bit better, move the ball better, take better shots. But I think if we can get the pace going where we want to, we can get our press going, we get lots of baskets off transition. That's what we need to do to be successful tonight.
And I can see an advantage to that. They've got some terrific size, and you'd like to beat that size down the court.
Yeah, we can't match up size-wise. And a lot of times we're playing a lineup with not anybody in over 5'9" or 5'10". But hopefully we can use our speed to our advantage and get them moving up and down the court and make it uncomfortable for them a little bit tonight.
Well, Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you very
Let's bring
much.
home a win.
Thank you.
Well, I'm standing beside Coach Mike Hart. And, Coach, you're just a little under 500 at the moment. But if you were to look at where you were at the start of the season and how you feel your team's progressed, what do you think you're at right now?
Well, we're up and down. There's weeks where we play very well, we shoot the ball well, we play great defense, and then there's weeks where we don't play so well. So we've been a real roller coaster for us, and it's kind of week by week. And so we had a tough game Tuesday night against Park. We didn't play real well, so we're hoping to get back on the right side of that roller coaster tonight against Cretin.
When I look at the stats for your squad, I see that you've got leadership from your seniors. Talk a little bit about your seniors this year.
Yeah, we've got great seniors. We've got we start 4 seniors, and we've got 6 seniors that play. And they've just been playing. Most of them have been playing since the 10th grade, one since the 9th grade, and they're just great kids. They love to play basketball, and they've done a great job of kind of taking other players under their wings. And so we've been fortunate to have them out there. And again, things haven't always gone the way we'd like them to, but the seniors have kept everybody in there, and they're still excited about playing basketball. So that's all you can ask for.
Exactly. Now, the first time you played Cretin, it was a close game. You looked at the score; it was a 6-point differential. As you come into the game tonight, what do you see as keys for your team being successful?
Well, we've got to do a better job of stopping their outside shooting. They hurt us in the second half last time with hitting a bunch of threes in the second half. So we got to do a better job, try to contain Alyssa Karel and We're not trying to stop her because I don't think you can do that, but we're going to try to contain her a little bit better and just hope that we can control the boards and so that we can limit them to one shot. And if we can do that, we like our chances. It was a great game the first time. We're looking forward to another one.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Standing here beside a Cretin basketball legend, one Kate Townley. And Kate, it's great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let's get back and reminisce a little bit. Talk about that magical season and the year that you helped lead the Raiders to the state championship.
That's exactly what it was. It was just a magical season. Everything just seemed to come together for us right at the end of the year, and it was wonderful. It was one of the most highlights of my career.
I remember that championship game. I felt like you played just about an absolutely perfect game that night and did such a wonderful job of getting your teammates involved. But what I also remember about that night was that there was a gal playing on the other side of the basket that kind of impressed me, and I was trying real hard to convince her to come play at my alma mater, the University of Illinois, which worked out. But talk a little bit about what happened in your career after high school.
I went on to play Division I basketball out in Binghamton University, which was a upstate New York school, and had a great 4 years. Started 3 of them and held the steals record at steals and assist records at there, and so I had a great time. I had a wonderful time. Things worked out really well for me, and I had a great career.
And now you're back at your alma mater, and what exactly are you helping out with Coach?
Really just kind of helping out at games. Coach Amy Bellis gave me the opportunity to come in and help out when I can, just helping out at practices and helping out at games and trying to, give some of my wisdom, if I had any, back to my alma mater, which I enjoy truly, and I'm very grateful to Amy Bellis for helping me do that.
I'm sure the players have to enjoy that. They know the experience that you do bring, and you're a proven winner, so I think it's terrific that you came back to Cretin. And what are you thinking about down the road? You want to be a head coach someday?
I'm not against it. But we'll see what happens. I like where I'm at right now. So
okay, great to see you again.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
I am sitting beside the head football coach at Cretin-Derham Hall, Mike Scanlon. And Mike, it's good to know that even you like to watch games that don't involve shoulder pads and spikes. And
well, these guys, they're really fun to watch. That's one thing. And to top it off, they're all really nice girls. I mean, that sounds real cliche, but they're a nice bunch of citizens. They're good people to represent our school, and they're really fun to watch.
Now, I have to talk to you a little bit about this new football coach over at the University of Minnesota that's making all the headlines. Now, I have particular interest because, as I'm sure you know, he played tight end for a fine Big Ten school that wears orange and blue.
That's right, the Illini.
The Illini, and was actually, I think, one of the names when we were looking for our new football coach. Coach Brewster's name came up down at Illinois as well. But there's been a lot of talk about the enthusiasm that he's generated and the fact that he's out meeting with the high school coaches, and we know he's had particular interest in coming over to visit your school and talk to some of your players. What's your impression of this new coach?
Well, seems like a very personable guy. I don't know if I want to call him a salesman, but I think that's the nature of a big-time college coach, is that you got to be able to sell your program. And he doesn't seem to be adverse to coming to this side of the river, coming into St. Paul once in a while. I know he's been here, and then he had 3 of his assistants, both of his coordinators were at one of the basketball games. So I think they finally have a chance to compete for some of our better players.
Because we've seen a lot of those good players heading off to Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Iowa. Now, as you look ahead to your upcoming season, I know that this last year was a little disappointing the way it ended, but it was a fabulous season. We really enjoyed watching your team play this last year. What do you think as you look ahead to next fall?
Well, excited again. This place, you can't be a whiny coach at Cretin-Derham Hall. The cupboard's never bare. We're going to be good on offense again. We have a new quarterback that we think can really play, but nobody knows about, John Nance. I mean, everybody's heard of him, but nobody's seen him play. I think some of the people have said he's the best quarterback that nobody knows anything about. But, Floyd back, Shady Solomon back, our offensive line will be better. We got all of our linebackers back. I think we're going to compete again.
Mike, thanks for your time. This is one of the best creative football minds in the state of Minnesota, and it's our privilege to have a chance to chat with Mike. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Very generous.
Welcome back to high school girls basketball, being presented by Keystone Productions, featuring the Hastings Raiders and Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, a Suburban East Conference matchup. The leading scorer so far for Cretin-Derham Hall, Alyssa Karel with 17 points. Carolyn Dienhart and Megan Jeske have 11 points apiece, and Sarah Hendricks rounds with 5. For Hastings, the leading scorers are Sarah Dewey, who scored all of her 8 points on free throws, Catherine Heinz with 8, all coming from inside, Abby Wagner and Amelia Schmitz both with 4, and Angela Jackson, Sarah Osberg, and Megan Callahan finish it off with 2 points apiece. During halftime, Coach Amy Bellis honored her point guard, Alyssa Karel, and mentioned some statistics that Karel is on the verge of breaking, such as points scored, steals, and rebounds in a single season. Currently, she leads the state in steals, in assists and steals, and leads the conference in scoring.
Just looking at their last matchup, Alyssa Karel had 20 points. Already this half, she's only had 17. She keeps getting better.
As I mentioned, Wisconsin, I'm sure glowing with glee to have her. She's going to give the Gophers some trouble, that's for sure. Now, what does Hastings need to do in the second half if they're going to come back in this game?
They're going to need to transition in the full court. They can't let Cretin get ahead of them. They're smaller. They should be faster. Secondly, I think that they need to go to Heinz more often. She has power. They need to utilize it.
And she's with their matchup against Harris hasn't done anything to throw off her concentration.
There's really no one that's stepping up to her. There's no one that's willing to put a body on her, especially when Cretin's already having foul trouble. They can't afford to just be throwing their men at Heinz.
Speaking of foul trouble, that Cretin with over 10 fouls in the first half, a lot of players have fouls. A couple are in foul trouble. Hastings only committed 3.
Exactly. Cretin's not getting extra points off of free throws. So Hastings need to stay consistent with that, but also step up their game. I'm sure that's what the coach talked about. Stay consistent with your lack of fouls. But I would say throw a few more fouls at them. Remind Cretin that they are not in control necessarily. Put a little fear into them.
We begin the second half. Sheila Otto with a 3. Bullseye. They're spreading the threes around.
Already getting their bench hyped up. Again.
Abby Wagner with a double team. Gets out of it. Goes to Callahan.
They know that trap's coming at the half court. There we go. Assist, and then basket Heinz. She's consistent when she gets the ball.
That gives her 10. First Hastings player to reach double digits. Carol with a double team, but gets out of it with Jeske. Goes back to her. Hands it off to Otto.
And the no-look pass.
Unfortunately could not capitalize, but a great no-look.
Sarah Dewey with the rebound.
Wagner in and out. Karel with Carolyn Dienhart wide open. Here she comes. It was patient, but could not capitalize on that layup. Karel for 3. You gotta be kidding me. Bullseye! 20 points for Karel.
Hastings is gonna need to step up and take a quick timeout. Their coach is not gonna be happy about that.
20 points for Karel. She is sick. I tell you, she is sick. Hastings commits another turnover. They are getting frustrated with number 30.
Amy Bellis not happy with her team fouling. You have that much momentum, there's no need for a foul like that.
Molly Jeske gets the ball poked away by Callahan. She caught Jeske falling asleep.
Angela Jackson taking the ball down court, now Dewey in control.
Jackson's shot is blocked by Hendricks, and Cretin will get possession.
The give and go is a really hard play to run against a zone. It's not as if one person is getting lost behind you. There's always someone to have your back. That's why really strong, unified teams are going to use the zone, and I'm sure that's why both of these teams are in it.
Meanwhile, Coach Mike Harp talking to the referees. Harp mentioned before the game when I talked to him yesterday about Hastings passing the ball well. When they do that, they win games, and when they don't, they struggle, and we're seeing that in full court action here so far. Mary Kenny steps into the game for Cretin.
Now Hastings in a help side defense.
And Hastings commits a foul. It goes to Abby Wagner. That's her second personal. Kenny looking to reset. Goes to Hendricks. Cretin taking their time now with an 18-point lead. They're going to make Hastings try to snatch it away from them. Hendricks with the mid-range shot, too strong.
Heinz was stuck behind number 45, Sheila Otto. Those are those little things that's why she's in the starting lineup. She's aware of what's going on in her court. She's just trying to help her team. She didn't go for the ball herself. That's teamwork.
Angela Jackson gets the ball nearly stripped away, but Catherine Heinz comes up with it. Her shot is blocked by Hendricks. You gotta be kidding me.
Cretin's bench just hopping up over that. Now they're excited.
Hendricks at 6'1" denies an easy shot from a 6'8" Catherine Heinz.
I'm sure Heinz has been told her whole life, keep the ball up. That's what happens. And that just makes you feel stupid as a player. Really. It's embarrassing. Your shot is going to get blocked. It shouldn't get blocked when you're 6'8".
Mary Kenny comes up with it. Jeske for three, short. Catherine Heinz with the rebound.
Heinz struggling to get down the court.
Wagner for three, too short, but Heinz with the rebound and cleans up the mess.
Sarah Hendricks, a ridiculous
blocker.
Ridiculous to put against Heinz. She's not that strong defensively against the post, it doesn't look like. But here, Molly Jeske getting hooked by
Megan Callahan. And substitutions coming in. Leslie Story, Megan Osberg, and Amelia Schmitz. Coming out are Angela Jackson, Megan Callahan, and Catherine Heinz. Cretin doing the same. Sarah Hendricks stepping out, Rosie Maloney stepping in, Carolyn Deanhart stepping out, Kendra Harris stepping in. Harris with an easy layup opportunity, but could not capitalize on
Again,
that.
fading away. I don't know what she's scared of. She is the big man here. She needs to have a presence. And I've played against her. She's really used to using her body, keeping her center of gravity low. But I think Heinz has her scared. She's falling back. Another fadeaway.
Even when she's not on the floor, Harris feeling intimidated by the presence of the Hastings big players. But I agree with you. Harris was in position to score a layup. I don't understand why you would fade away on that.
I think it's the comparison between Heinz and Osberg. I mean, Osberg obviously no comparison, but at the same time, Harris is scared of that feeling, that constant having a body right there. She just isn't confident in this game. I don't know. Maybe she's like that, but she's not. She's consistent, but consistently not scoring.
Meanwhile, Storley had her third personal foul just a couple seconds ago. And a scramble for the ball. It's a jump ball. Hastings will keep possession.
Good sportsmanship there. All three Cretin girls offering their hand.
Schmitz having trouble finding a target. Goes to Sarah Dewey.
Nice backdoor cut. Quick V cut. Strong.
Dewey looking to sterilize the wounds. Kendra Harris is open, but too strong.
What a beautiful roll. You have to reward yourself on that.
Unfortunately, it couldn't come in the form of 2 points.
ref absolutely freaking out about whose ball it is. Getting red in the face, exciting times.
Indeed, the baseline ref calling it for Hastings, but the call was overruled.
Overruled by sheer hopping around, no real discussion. Hastings can't be happy about that.
Hard to discuss when you're several feet away. Cretin draws another foul. This time it's Hastings having a problem, foul trouble. That's their 4th this half. They only have 2 more to give. The foul is on Sarah Osberg, her 2nd personal.
Karel shaking her left ankle. It seemed like she walked to the sideline with a bit of a limp. Now she's back. Harris stripped by Sarah Osberg. Now with the ball, Leslie Story.
Jay Cordy in the game for Cretin-Derham Hall, number 54. Storley's shot short, but Abby Wagner with the rebound.
Alyssa Karel missing that rebound. Had both hands on it, just couldn't control it.
Wagner draws the foul. It goes to Jay Cordy. It's her first. Coincidentally, Cretin's first of the half.
Sarah Hendricks coming in for Cretin's Kendra Harris.
Molly King being assigned against Catherine Heinz. King at 6 feet. Heinz tried to get it, but at 6'8", she's gonna nearly wrestle the rebound away.
I love how King approached that. She got really low, put her hips against Heinz's butt, knew what needed to get done, but she didn't put all her weight into Heinz. She might be a little scared, might be a little intimidated, but what she did is she went back to her baseline and then help side, got a block.
Karel playing quarterback once again. Goes to Jay Cordy, who gets the 2 points, the kiss off the glass.
Cordy being pushed around a little bit by Amelia SCHMITZ, who she picked.
Speaking of SCHMITZ, Karel nearly got the strip. Catherine Heinz. Drew a foul there. Against Molly King, her first. And SCHMITZ's shot is blocked by Karel, and unfortunately Alyssa came down a little too hard. She'll get called for her 2nd personal foul. She's settled down a little bit since the beginning of the half. Still remains at 20 points. And SCHMITZ will head to the free throw line.
Would have been a clean block. You heard hand on ball, but she came down with her momentum forward and ran into the shooter, who is
SCHMITZ.
Thank you, SCHMITZ. And 2 of 2, SCHMITZ.
1 of 2. 52-37. Cretin has not lost control of this game since the get-go. Karel with the long-range jumper, in and out. Angela Jackson with the rebound. SCHMITZ pump faked.
I think she should have gone on that one. Karel wasn't in control, but
Karel
possibly in control of this one.
She gets a steal.
Nice hands, way to be aware.
And it'll stay with Cretin. Rosie Malone-Pavoni in the game. Goes to Molly King. I think Amy Bell is looking to get some of her reserve players some minutes. Karel for 3. Bullseye!
Beautiful screen by Sheila Otto there, opening up her point guard.
23 points for Alyssa Karel. And nearly got the steal.
You really saw Malone-Pavoni really putting her all into defense. She felt like she had lost, but you just see the Cretin girls are putting their head down and running the floor.
Timeout Hastings. While we have a timeout, we'll go to another trivia question. This time we'll go over to Cretin-Derham Hall. Many of you know they were in the St. Paul City Conference a few years back. Who was the last Cretin-Derham Hall player to lead the St. Paul Conference in scoring? Margaret Nolan, Kate Townley, Angie Cerny, or Jody Loveline?
I'm going to go with Jody Loveline because at Harding, my coach was Loveline. So
You would be correct. Jody Loveline in 1995 led the St. Paul City Conference in scoring.
is that cheating? That she coached me.
I'm afraid not.
I'm just taking the A. I'm taking the A on this trivia question.
I've already revealed the answer.
I guessed right.
You did guess right. Jody Loveline, of course, now the athletic director for Cretin-Derham Hall, and a couple other folks that were in that question. Margaret Nolan played college basketball at Notre Dame, was an All-American player there. And Kate Townley, who was part of the 1999 state championship team at Cretin-Derham Hall, played Division I college basketball over at Binghamton in New York. Meantime, Hastings will grab possession. Got themselves out of a 10-second violation.
Cretin coming back in with a lot of intensity and a full court man.
Catherine Hines' shot is short. She gets her own rebound, cleans up that mess.
King with strong defense, but then didn't turn around and slam into Hines. You're going to have to throw your whole weight into her to box out and get real low. But it's a lot easier for me sitting up here looking back down on it than I'm sure it is to move her. I don't know how much she weighs, but she's 6'8".
She looks like a condor out there. Jay Cordy with the last rebound. She's got Carolyn Deanhart on a 2-on-1.
Pops up for the short jumper. Hines with the rebound.
Hastings looking to, they have to come out of a 16-point deficit with less than 10 to go. They're running out of time.
Hastings, I think, is having problems controlling the court because Hines isn't as fast, so there's always going to be a 4-on-5 if they're going full court.
16 points for Catherine Hines after the last basket. Deanhart for 3, off the rim. Jump ball. Hastings will take possession.
That was King and Hines under there. Hines really not getting thrown down by King, but her own force of just trying to rip that ball. 30-second timeout.
Hines at 6'8" is probably not going to get thrown down by too many players out there.
She carries her weight very centered. She always has a very wide base.
Hines had 8 points in the first half, and in the second half she has matched that total with 9:28 to go.
Just like I said during halftime, they're really going to have to go to Hines because she's capitalizing on all her points.
Cretin still keeping the distance from behind the arc, sinking those 3-pointers.
Cretin's still up by 14 points. Really, Hastings hasn't made a dent here. They're going to have to go on a run. I'm sure that's why Cretin took the timeout. They knew something is going to happen here. Hastings really going to step it up. They have confidence now. They're going to continue to go to Hines. They need to find a way to stop them.
Amy Bellis was looking for a double dribble, but to no avail. Molly Noel with the steal.
Megan Callahan pretty much just handed it to her. She didn't have control.
Carolyn Deanhart goes out to Mary Kenny. To Noel.
Don't hit it, the camera guy.
Cordy. Look.
Carol was wide open.
Molly King could not get the bounce. Jackson with the rebound.
Molly Noel, the only one under the basket on that last offensive rebound.
Abby Wagner and 1.
Count it. Coming to the line with a bit of a limp. She's wearing only one ankle brace, probably an old injury.
Carolyn Deanhart called for the foul. Alyssa Karel steps back in, replacing Mary Kenny. Molly King steps out, and Lauren Alt, 6'1" center, steps in. And Molly Jeske also returning, replacing Jay Cordy. I think Bellis sensing Hastings looking to make a run here. Misses the free throw. Carol with the rebound. She's going to weave her way around another double team. Can't get the layup that time. Great effort, just couldn't get the ball in there. Abby Wagner, shot is short.
She was wide open.
Not enough Wheaties on that shot. And Carolyn Dienhart gets the ball poked away.
Cretin needs to continue to run full court. If they don't have a man on the shooters down, that's going to be the way Hastings is going to climb back into this game.
Molly Noel steps out. Sarah Hendricks steps in. Again, I think Bella's looking to stomp out any remaining hopes that Hastings has of upsetting this Cretin team. Karel with another three, nearly got the bounce.
See there, Molly Jeske didn't have Hines boxed out. She's not going to get over the back call or something like that. She's going to have to put all her effort into boxing him out.
Callahan was looking for Hines, no good, but Wagner comes up with the ball, too strong. Hines with the rebound. Shot is short, and a fight for the ball. Jump ball, Cretin will take possession. Hastings had 2 offensive rebounds on that series and could not come up with anything.
Amy Bellis, I think this is a good idea to keep King in. She's really doing a good job fronting Hines and then rewarding herself by going after the rebound, keeping her butt on Hines.
Karel goes out to Dienhart. Thought about a 3. Will take a 2 instead. That falls.
Right over Hines. That gets Cretin's bench excited.
That'll give you some confidence. Cretin is showing that they're not afraid of a 6'8" forward. Callahan with the shot, no good. Dienhart touched it. Hastings will get another shot at the basket.
Cretin needs to continue to keep running down the floor. They're quick. They need to continue to be quick because that's how they had such a run in the first half. Still up by 14 points, however.
Abby Wagner with a shot. Swish.
Here's where Hastings needs to make a stop if they're going to have a run right now.
7 minutes to go. Down by 12. Jeske to Karel. She's saying, I'm not finished. 3 more!
She's way behind the arc. She's not even trying hard.
That was nearly NBA range. That is Cretin's 10th three-point basket of the game. And Karel with 26 points.
Karel with 6 of those 10.
And in the open, we talked about how Jeske can give them range from behind the arc. And tonight, it's been Karel's time to shine from behind there. Karel's done everything tonight.
But you have to remember, she has a really good squad behind her, and they have home court advantage. Home court advantage, very, very valuable. You have the court behind, you have all your fans behind you, especially with Cretin. It was a notoriously large crowd, a lot of fan base, both students and parents, family. You have people who are able to come make all your games. That support system, that's why they're good athletes, but also that's why they're a winning and successful program.
Catherine Hines with the last basket for Hastings. Dienhart with a shot that didn't come up. Sarah Dewey with the rebound. Callahan looking for a target.
Jackson was lagging, now she has the ball.
Jackson was open for a 3, decided not to go for it. And Callahan overthrows her target.
She just came in there, didn't really have a lot of control, just kind of gung-ho, threw it down.
You're talking about home court advantage. How valuable is that? Because the length of the basketball court doesn't change from school to school.
You're right, but first of all, you have the rims. You shoot on these rims every day. Teams are putting in 10, 12, 14 hours a day at the same gym every day. It's just, when you feel on, you can feel really on at your own court. Secondly, all these fans, you have this momentum, they get excited, especially when you have students. Students love to get excited.
Carolyn Dienhart with the behind-the-back layup.
That's just my point. Look at all these fans getting really excited. Their bench is screaming. That just makes you feel so good, and it makes you want to get right down onto defense.
Dienhart with 15 points now. Catherine Hines at the other end with another deuce. That gives her 20.
Lauren Auld couldn't even touch that.
Nobody's been able to touch Hines except for Hendricks. You're talking about this Cretin crowd. I'm sure this will give them a good feeling. They've got a big match against Woodbury next week, who leads the Suburban East Conference. Jeske with the shot, no good. Cretin-Derham Hall defeated Woodbury in their last meeting.
Cretin has a notoriously strong program, and as I can say that I've been playing in the St. Paul Conference, we hate matchups against them, especially when I played Harding. You just know they're going to cream you. It's not a good feeling. Walking into this court, it's beautiful, it's large, and they have all these parents that are just willing to scream their heads off for their daughter, who they see every day playing. You don't have a support system like that in the St. Paul Conference. So now I think it's wonderful that they are in the Suburban East Conference. I'm so thankful, not only for me personally, but also for all the teams in the St. Paul. You just can't compete with that.
Molly Jeske, Sarah Hendricks with the last foul for Cretin-Derham Hall. It was on. Abby Wagner drew it. And Wagner is 1 of 2 from the line. You mentioned about the St. Paul City Conference. I covered a few of those games in the last few weeks, and I do have to agree with you. You just don't get the fan support, especially at the schools such as Arlington and Harding, where support is limited. It doesn't give you a good feeling playing in front of an empty gym.
We need to remember, one, when you don't have talent, you can't really pull crowds as much. That's just the fact of life. If you're not good, who wants to come see you if you're not winning games? A lot of these schools are Title I.
Jeske, bullseye! Jeske reminding everybody that she can shoot from behind the arc.
Cretin trying that trap in the corner.
Jeske out to Karel, poked away by Osberg, and somehow Hendricks gets it. Can't get the roll.
Karel with ridiculous behind the back
For
passes.
Trey, no good. Jeske with the rebound, she draws the foul.
Jeske's 6 feet tall. She doesn't play like it until she gets under the boards. Then she looks 6 feet tall. I love that in her. She has the speed, she has the quickness. She's built for speed, but she's also tall enough to be getting in there and getting those rebounds.
And Molly Jeske, another compliment to her and to her three-point shooting is that she leads the team in free throw percentage. She came into tonight's game 81%, 43 of 53. But what I like about Cretin-Derham Hall, they're up by 15 and it looks like they're about to wrap this one up, but they're not letting up. They're staying hungry. Jeske 1 of 2. Cretin-Derham Hall up by 16. Jeske now has 15 points. And we have a foul at the other end. It's on Alyssa Karel, her third. Hastings now in the bonus. Leslie Storley at the line. Shot no good. Jeske comes up with a rebound. Karel somehow gets it off to Dienhart, and she's going to miss that shot, but Liz Caldwell, nice effort to try to get that rebound to no avail. But you have to like the fact that she's getting some minutes in here. Bellis letting some of her reserves play. Liz Caldwell.
What happened there is that she reached across the body. She wasn't set up properly to get that ball, and Heinz was coming to the ball. Smart move. She knows that she's not going to outrun, but if she's in a continuous motion towards her, she's so big that someone isn't going to be able to get around her.
Heinz gets the bounce. That was Caldwell's first personal. Heinz now at 21, well above her average. Can't get the second. 3 minutes to go.
Harris with that last rebound. Some botting up there between number 44, Liz Caldwell,
Kendra
and
Harris
Sarah
shot
Osberg.
blocked. Heinz comes up with the ball. And Heinz will take a long two. No good. Cretin-Derham Hall comes up with it.
Starting to get really physical out there. Seeing Jeske throwing elbows, staring down Hastings players. Hastings realizing they're down, getting upset as well for different reasons. But when people start throwing elbows, giving you bad looks, all you want to do is start something with them.
Molly Jeske thought about a 3. She goes out to Karel, who gets guarded almost immediately. Harris will reset. Cretin can take their time here. They're still up by 15. Jeske to Dienhart with a long 2. Swish. And Hastings, Cretin-Derham Hall calling a timeout. Amy Bellis probably looking to let her team know that, hey, we still got a couple minutes in here, but letting her know that her team has some big matches coming up. With 2:05 to go, let's sneak in one final trivia question. This is another one from Cretin-Derham Hall. How many conference championships did Cretin win when they were in the St. Paul City Conference? 11, 12, 13, or did you lose count?
Well, I definitely lost count, but I'm going to go with the biggest number, 13, because they're pretty much just sweeping everybody.
The correct answer is 12. They won a dozen championships. The last 2 were co-championships with Central back in the Ashley Ellis Milan era. Cretin, this has got to be a good feeling for them as they face Woodbury next week. I tell you, Catherine Heinz, 6'8" for Hastings. Cretin all night has not been intimidated by her.
They just keep throwing new people at her. That's all you can do. People don't like playing against someone that's extremely better than you, but the guards are keeping control of the guards at the top, so Heinz isn't getting as many looks.
And a foul on Liz Caldwell, her second. That'll send Megan Callahan to the line. And she sinks her first. We have a substitution coming in.
Osborne coming in for Heinz.
Now for Hastings, what do you take of this loss? You lost by 6 to Cretin in the first meeting. Now you get dominated by them. What do you take from this? Because there's something you can learn from a loss.
Well, Cretin, they don't give up. Like you said earlier, they're hungry, and they're always hungry. They always have something to prove. Now that makes for a good team, a team that's going to be aggressive. That's why they started out with so many fouls. They were not about to lose this game. They were going to come out strong, and that's what they did. They couldn't be afraid. They'd already executed and knew what their challenges were going to be. I'm sure in preparation for this game, they had a lot of body, just getting everyone prepared. And you already have strong guards. If they're confident, they're going to stay confident, and that's going to make them better.
Jossie Burr with the last basket for Hastings, but it comes too little, too late. Callahan with the steal.
Jeske trying to force it in, just wasn't there.
Hastings not going to give up. And Karel with the steal. She's got numbers. Hands it off to Caldwell. The ball is poked away by Burr.
Karel has an amazing ability to put one hand on the ball, and then all of a sudden, she's pushing it up the floor.
And Karel steps out of the game to a much deserving ovation from the Cretin-Derham Hall fans. Less than a minute to go. Cretin will move up to 10-4 as Jeske makes the 2-pointer. Hastings will fall to 4-10. Burr gets another shot. That's short.
She knew it was short. She followed it. Smart move, but just didn't get a look on it.
Nobody was there for Hastings to recover. And Cretin could very well run out the clock here, but they're not going to.
Still attacking. I wonder why they're doing that.
Looking to stay hungry, I imagine. Now they're taking their time. 10 seconds. And yeah, Cretin is now going to either hold for the final shot or just wind out the clock. Kenny with the ball. She's just going to let the clock run out. And Cretin-Derham Hall notches their 10th conference victory of the season. They moved to 17-7 overall with a 70-55 win over Hastings. Alyssa Karel no doubt was the player of the game tonight.
It's quite obvious. She was steals, several three-point attempts. She's just solid all around. I also like the defense of Cretin by many of their players. They really played as a team, really good help side, and always aware where Heinz was to help their post players.
To recap the scoring for you for Cretin-Derham Hall, with the performance like tonight, you didn't need to worry about balance. Alyssa Karel, as we just mentioned, led the way with 26 points. She was complemented by Carolyn Dienhardt and Molly Jeske with 17 points apiece. And Sarah Hendricks finishes off Cretin scoring with 5. Sheila Otto had 3 points and Jay Cordy had 2 points. For Hastings, Catherine Heinz with 21 points. Sarah Dewey, who most of her points were made from the free throw line, has 10. Abby Wagner finished with 8. Amelia Schmitz with 5. Megan Callahan with 4. Meg Stevenson has an interview with our player of the game and future Wisconsin Badger, Alyssa Karel. Take it away, Meg.
Well, Mike and Maija, I'm standing beside the point guard for the Cretin Raiders, Alyssa Karel. And Alyssa, it was just a great game tonight. I thought your team bounced back really well from a tough loss Tuesday night. When I think about the fact that you guys have had 3 buzzer beaters this season, but what do you think is the reason for this great character on this team this year?
I don't know. This year we just have a team that loves to work hard. When we get beat, like we had a bad game, or get beat tough, like our game last game, the buzzer beater, we just always want to come back the next day and just practice hard and make sure the next game it doesn't happen again. So I mean, we were all feeling down that night, and we just wanted to make sure it didn't happen again. So we came out hard.
I was talking to Coach Bellis before the game started, and I said to her that I thought 1+ to all these close games is that when it comes time for the tournament to start, you guys know what it's like to be in a pressure-packed situation.
Definitely, and we also know how to win them too. So it kind of goes both ways. The pressure won't get to us when it comes time for tournament time, and so it's nice that we've won a few of the close games, and we know how it feels to win, we know how it feels to lose. So.
Now, I hate to talk about this, but I'm just going to have to do it because I really was hoping you'd be wearing orange and blue next year, and I've got to admit that you're going to be wearing red, but I am very happy that you're going to be playing in the Big Ten Conference. Now, I know you've got this season to think about and get finished, but do you ever let yourself think what it's going to be like to be playing in front of a good crowd at a Big Ten game?
Definitely, all the time. I've been to a couple games. Saw them play Minnesota twice this year already, and both those games was a great atmosphere. It's a little intimidating, the crowd, but hopefully I'll get used to it. And, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just kind of concentrating on now and here and trying to get what we need to get done now. So.
Well, Alyssa, congratulations to your team tonight, and good luck finishing this season on a strong note. And let's see if we can take it down the road for tournament time.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thanks.
That will do it from Cretin-Derham Hall. The final score once again, Cretin-Derham Hall 70, Hastings 55. For Maija Robertson and Meg Stevenson and everyone else here at Keystone Productions, this is Mike Peden signing off. So long, everybody.